It's my time, it's my season, and I've got a good reason to open my mouth. Gonna let it out, open your mind, grab your friend, hope you listen to the end. The vibe is good and learning meets on She Who Speaks.
Hi, happy Mother's Day. Welcome to She Who Speaks. I'm Renee, lover of a good laugh and all things behavioral. With me is Marilyn. She's unassuming with a good listening ear. And Loveman. She's an unstoppable force with an angelic voice. Together, we are She Who Speaks, and we are so delighted to be here with you. Pause if you have not yet subscribed and you are not new. Please go ahead, place a compliment, hit that subscribe button, like, and share so that we may get our content out. If you are a first time viewer, we're so delighted to have you. Thank you for sticking around. And we hope that if you like our content at the end of this video, that you will also subscribe. So, ladies, happy Mother's Day to each of you.
Yeah, to you too. Bonne fête
Thank
des mères.
you.
Une friend of
So, we have so many fun treats. We're going to actually have our moms on and we're going to ask them fun questions. So we'll see how it goes. I know, um, I don't know if your mom is camera shy, Loveman, but I know mine is.
Oh, and you know how I am, so you know how I get it from my mama.
Right. So this is going to be fun. So before we go any further, let's just pause and take a look and see what that was like.
Coucou. Hello everybody. This is my mom. Je dis bonjour.
Bonjour.
Alors maman, dis-moi, qu'est-ce qui est ma couleur préférée?
Quelle est ta couleur préférée? Ta couleur préférée? Le vert.
Ah bon?
Ça commence bien.
Ça dépend des saisons, j'ai pas de couleur préférée.
Ça dépend des jaune.
Ouais, j'aime bien ça, j'aime bien le jaune.
Le jaune.
Ouais, c'est vrai, c'est vrai.
Tu aimes la couleur prune aussi.
C'est vrai, c'est vrai.
Toi là.
Ouais, c'est vrai.
Donc, bon, très classique aussi. Tu aimes le blanc.
Ouais, c'est vrai. C'est vrai.
Et le noir.
Ouais, t'as raison. C'est vrai, bravo.
Ça dépend de la saison.
C'est vrai, exactement, ça dépend de la saison. Dis-moi, quand j'étais petite, j'étais comment comme enfant?
Très petite. Ça dépend de quel âge. Très petite, quand tu étais bébé, tu pleurais beaucoup à la naissance.
Ah bon?
Tu pleurais beaucoup. Donc, mais je pensais que tu avais des coliques. Bon, on ne sait pas parce que l'enfant ne parle pas, on ne sait pas.
Je pense que c'était ça, parce que ma fille elle a eu ça.
Mais en grandissant, tu étais très intéressante, très entreprenante, très polie. Parce que tu salues beaucoup les personnes, les personnes âgées, tu les salues. Okay. Donc, il y a même une dame qui t'a donné un jour 10 francs, le fait que tu l'as salué dans le train. Tu lui as dit, ça n'existait plus au jour d'aujourd'hui.
Ah, ok.
Donc, tu étais très heureuse ce jour-là. Donc, tu saluais les gens et puis tu étais très intelligente, mais tu marchais à 14 mois, mais tu parlais bien.
Ok. Maintenant que tu vois que je suis maman, et que tu vois, est-ce que tu vois la différence? Est-ce que tu vois comment je suis comme maman et comment toi tu es comme maman? Qu'est-ce que tu vois comme différence ou comme chose similaire?
Oui, il y a une différence quand même. Je pense que tu essaies de ne pas reprendre les mêmes erreurs que moi.
Ok.
Donc, c'est-à-dire qu'il y a des choses que je faisais que tu ne les fais pas. C'est-à-dire que je vais taper. Moi, j'ai corrigé, donc je ne le dis pas deux fois. Une fois, je te dis deuxième fois, papa. Mais toi, je vois que tu es plus patiente que moi dans ce sens. Tu essaies de ne pas donner des coups. Peut-être que tu t'es dit, les coups, ce n'est pas ça qui fait l'éducation.
Ok.
Toi qui disais dans ta tête, je ne ferai pas comme ma mère.
Okay.
Donc, je trouve que de ce côté-là, donc tu ne fais pas comme moi.
Oui, juste ça.
Donc, il y a beaucoup de... Tu es beaucoup plus tolérante par rapport à moi, tu as beaucoup plus de patience.
Ok.
Étant que maman, étant que maman, tu as plus de patience que moi. Donc,
C'est comme ça, je fais pas les photos avec vous. Vous pouvez pas laisser moi faire des photos avec vous.
That's my daughter.
Donc, j'ai trouvé pas mal de choses. Donc,
Maman, tu voulais pas laisser moi.
tout me vient pas à l'esprit pour l'instant. Donc, il y a le côté, tu as plus de tolérance que moi.
Okay.
Tu tapes pas. Tu parles plus que donc, ça fait une grande différence. Tu as plus de patience que moi donc, par rapport à tout ça. Donc, tu réagis pas vite. Tu réagis pas vite. Donc, on dit que là où la fille ne dépasse pas la mer, il n'y a pas de progrès.
Voilà, c'est ce que tu m'as toujours dit, ça c'est vrai.
Voilà.
Okay.
Donc, je suppose, moi-même, par rapport à ma mère, j'ai fait des progrès.
Oui, voilà.
Donc, je pense que
de
c'est
génération en
génération.
génération.
Et peut-être ta fille aussi, quand elle voit des trucs, il y a des choses que tu fais qu'elle ne va pas reproduire parce qu'elle trouve que ce n'est pas nécessaire.
Okay.
Donc, chaque génération évolue.
Exactement.
Donc, on va en évolution.
Bon voilà, c'était ma maman et comme vous avez entendu, j'étais une enfant très sage.
Ouais.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Mommy, I've been looking forward to this conversation all day. Thank you for taking time to come sit in this space. I know I don't think you're shy at all, but I know this is not your comfort zone to be like sitting on camera and talking about stuff like this. So I really appreciate you coming. So for everybody that doesn't know you, tell us your name and how many children you have.
I am Eulalie. I'm the proud mother of Stacy and Renee.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you. And so, of course, you're my mom and I'm your baby, or as we say it in Jamaica, the wash belly. And
yeah, that's right.
I know I've always grown up hearing you tell stories about just how Stacy was as a child versus how I was as a child. And it's always just so hilarious to hear. So I think my first question that I want to ask is, of both of us, Stacy, that's my big sister, and I, which one of us kept you on your toes the most and why?
Wow, what a question. My. Renee has always been the time bomb, the very hyperactive, the one who got into all sorts of things, the one who was a real tomboy, just different.
Oh man. So tell us a little bit about what were some of the mischievous things or the fun things that I used to do as a little girl?
I can recall one, we're living in the country and those little puppies, we had some puppies, very young puppies. And it was amazing to hear you teaching the puppies to call your name. Each time the puppy would go, you say, no, my name is not, but Renee. I found it rather interesting to see you teaching the puppy how to speak. It was very, very interesting.
I've always
because you kept it for hours. You kept it for a long time.
It's because I'm a visionary. I just knew if I tried hard enough, eventually they would talk. It's funny. I actually do remember that. I remember doing that, trying to teach them to say my name. What is one thing that you wish you knew before you had children? One thing you wish you knew about being a parent or a mom before you had children?
I wish I had a bird's eye view as to how to deal with a hyperactive child, because that was how it is. A contrast. One was you consider norm, and the other one was the opposite of norm. Mm-hmm. So I wish I knew then how to deal. But as the time progressed, I learned. I had to learn.
And I think you did an amazing job, because I think I came out great. Mm-hmm. But seriously, I think you did an amazing job, because one of the things I always appreciated as a child was that you never tried to kill my creativity or kill my love for just trying new things and pushing the limits and the boundaries of my own imagination and active play. And I honestly have always appreciated that. So I think you did an amazing job. My next
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. My next question would be, what was the hardest part of being a mom?
The hardest part, I think, was to please both girls, you know, because both of you with opposite personalities. Let's say I bought a pink dress for Red Stacy and I bought a blue dress for you. Then I would hear, Mommy, it's the blue one I wanted, not the pink. And if I bought a yellow for Renee and a green for Stacy and Mommy, I wanted the green, not the, it was really confusion until I learned to buy the same colors. Both girls would have on the same colors. As a matter of fact, after a while, people began calling you Twinnie because you were dressed the same way. And that's when I put an end to the confusion, because it was really hard to please, you know. Whatever one got, if the other one wanted the whatever. So I just had to be sure that both had the same. It was really hard because, you see, I didn't want to come across as having a favorite. And then it put me in a very funny position because here it is, I think I'm doing my best. The pink is lovely, the blue is lovely. And then I had a contract. When I went home, it was not lovely. I wanted the blue one, Mommy, not the pink one. It was hard. It was really hard.
So you mentioned that you didn't want to come off as if you had favorites. Now's your moment to shine. Tell Stacy who your favorite is.
There's no such thing. Not at all. There's no such thing. I have two favorites. No, I have two favorites.
Stacy, before we started recording, Mommy told me that I'm her favorite, but she didn't want to offend you. So this is what she's saying on camera, but I'm her favorite. Right?
That's trouble.
Thank you so much, Mommy. I love you. I'm grateful for you.
Love you, Latsuni.
Love you too.
Salut maman.
Salut Malou, comment tu vas?
Ça va bien et toi?
Bah, ça va, ça va.
Donc, j'ai quelques questions pour toi. On va commencer avec la première question. On va voir si jamais tu te souviens de ce que j'aimais faire quand j'étais petite. Quelle était mon activité préférée lorsque j'étais enfant? So I'm asking my mom what was my favorite activity when I was a child. Let's see if she gets it right. On va voir si elle a tout bon ou tout faux.
Alors, je dois répondre là tout de suite?
Oui.
Alors, son activité préférée, eh bien, je dirais la danse, parce que dès ton jeune âge, je t'avais inscrit dans des cours de danse. Ça a été ton premier coup de cœur, la danse. Et ensuite, plus la musique après, le chant et tout ça. Donc, je dirais, au départ, c'était la danse, ensuite, les chants, la musique, en fait.
Voilà, ok. Donc, les choses un peu artistiques, quoi.
Ouais.
So my mom answered that first it was dance. I used to take, I think it was modern jazz dance lesson. And I did actually like it, but I was a little chubby. So yeah. But I did like it. But I was a little bit, I would say, self-conscious about my body. And so it didn't last long, unfortunately. And she said that after that, it was music, singing, and stuff like this. So she's not completely wrong. OK. Est-ce qu'il y a autre chose que j'aimais faire quand j'étais petite?
Eh bien, se retrouver en famille, faire des jeux de société, ça aussi, tu appréciais beaucoup. On se réunissait souvent et on jouait à des jeux que tu aimais bien.
Aussi mes Barbie que j'aimais beaucoup, je crois.
Ah oui, ça c'est ça c'est sûr. Tu avais, je pense, toutes les Barbie, qui existaient en fait.
Ouais.
Tu aimais toutes les Barbie.
Yeah, so she said that I used to love playing board games. I still do. We still play Monopoly, Scrabble, and we still do it on a regular basis. That's a little ritual in our family. And the other thing that I had to remind her And yeah, I had a passion for Barbies, and I had a lot of them. OK, so, alors, on va continuer avec la deuxième question. On va être un petit peu plus sérieuse pour celle-ci. Alors, qu'est-ce qui était la partie la plus difficile dans le fait d'élever des enfants, de jeunes enfants à l'époque?
Là, que je connais le plus, c'était, bon, quand vous étiez jeune, donc je travaillais, il fallait, bon, vous laisser soit à la garderie ou, voilà, et la crainte d'être des mauvaises influences, en fait. Donc, je craignais pas à savoir si, on s'inquiète toujours en tant que maman, à savoir comment que ça se passe et tout ça. Donc, on ne connaît pas tout le monde, tous les enfants je ne connaissais pas tous les enfants que tu fréquentais, donc ça, c'était une grosse inquiétude pour moi, savoir comment ça se passait quand je n'étais pas là. Donc, je pense que c'est ça. Sinon, l'inquiétude aussi de savoir de réussir, en fait, réussir sa scolarité. Voilà. Ouais.
OK.
Donc, c'était plus ça, mais sinon, tu n'étais pas un enfant difficile, donc ça se passait bien.
Merci.
Ça se passait très bien.
Okay. So in a nutshell, she said that she was working, so we had to go to school and then stay at school after hours. And sometimes she was worried about the influence, like who were our friends and who was influencing us, because we were spending more time at school than actually at home, and it's still the case. So it was one of her biggest fear. And of course, as a West Indian parent, education, are we going to make it? Like, they just wanted us to do good and to do good enough to be somebody. OK, on continue avec la dernière question. Et quel conseil, toi, tu aimerais donner aux mamans?
C'est... Chacun voit, parce que, tu sais, les problématiques ne se posent pas pour tout le monde de la même façon. Donc, je reviendrai encore sur être à l'écoute, en fait, de passer du temps, de consacrer un temps d'échange tous les jours avec les enfants et de savoir, de prendre le temps de savoir ce qu'ils pensent, qu'ils ont besoin, comment la journée s'est passée. Ça, c'est très important. Je pense que c'est plus ça, passer un temps aussi à s'amuser s'il le faut avant le dîner, le coucher. Voilà, ça c'est des choses vraiment, vraiment importantes pour un enfant.
Okay.
Voilà, ce serait plus ça. Après, chacun voit.
Okay.
Voit.
Okay.
Voilà.
So my question was, what advice would she give to parents raising kids nowadays? And she said that's really like the advice that she would have liked to receive. That's the one she would give. Spend time with your kids, talk, exchange, have moments when you can play with them and when you can, spend quality time with your children, with your family. Eh ben, merci maman d'avoir passé ce petit moment avec moi. So I'm thanking my mom for spending that time to have that conversation with me, and she's just as shy as I am, so thank you for doing that. Elle est aussi...
Je t'en prie. Le plaisir a été pour moi.
D'accord. Plaisir partagé, évidemment. Et voilà. Ah, il y a une dernière question. C'est qui ton enfant préféré?
Oula!
I was asking her who was her favorite.
Maman n'a pas de préférence, hein. On aime tout le monde, on aime tous ses enfants.
She said, good answer. She said her mom doesn't prefer one kid over another one. She loves all her children. Bonne réponse, maman. Good answer. Allez, maman, merci encore et puis à plus tard.
Bye.
Je te rappelle un petit peu plus tard.
OK, gros bisous, bye.
Bisous. Bye.
Bye.
Marilyn,
Hmm.
I didn't know you danced, girl. You're holding out on us. We might have to have you dance.
I shy.
I was like 8 years old last time I danced. So
Listen,
I want to see
now
it.
you know I'm never gonna let that go. Never. Now that I know that, ever. Like every time you get on stage, I'm expecting some moves, like something different. Okay.
Okay, we'll
But
try.
real question though, um, what did you think motherhood was going to be like for you, as you know, watching these powerful women who raised us? Like, what was your expectation of motherhood? I guess I asked Love Min first. What was your expectation?
Well, for me, I think now is what I expected. But at the beginning, like now my daughter is 4,
Mm-hmm.
but from 0 to 4, I think I was constantly learning and not knowing what to do with no manual to guide me. You know, I know that I wanted to, you want to give the best to your child, but I think like motherhood showed me how much I need to be. It's okay to not know, as long as you give your absolutely best
Yeah.
and be willing to learn.
Mm-hmm.
I think also from motherhood, something that I learned, or I know this was going to be some pressure, but I didn't know I never expect, like, it's only until you get the child and you see that you're molding someone character, that this person is taking your mimic, your expression, that you're like, oh, what I'm doing every single day is serious. And the pressure, I didn't grasp it until I actually become a mom. And I think that's something that I'm gonna leave until our last days or our last breath. Yes, there's no, yeah. What about you, ladies?
Oh, for me, first of all, I don't know. I mean, I don't think I translated it, but my mom said that I was a very nice child. So I expected first of all, I did not expect to have 2 boys. To be honest with you, I always saw myself as a girl mom. Like
Mm-hmm.
I always thought that I would have a daughter, that I would be like a Disney princess and that we would twirl and stuff like this. No, 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 no.
Excuse me, that's funny because me, I already thought that I would be a boy mom.
That's
Like,
crazy. That is crazy.
Interesting.
to the point where people, when I found out that I was pregnant and it was a girl, people were like, are you okay? Like, are you okay? But God knew what he was doing.
Exactly.
God knows. And yeah, so my boys, they are very energetic.
Yes,
They are yeah, they are not very obedient. So it's surprising. I don't know where they get that personality from. But no, well, seriously, really, I think that through that, I'm always grateful for my boys, like no matter what. And it's hard. Some days are very hard, as I said before. And as you know, as mothers, some days are harder than others. And sometimes, as Lovmin said, you feel the pressure from inside, but also the pressure from outside. Sometimes you see other kids and they're like so well behaved. And you see also some parents who, I mean, it looks like they have it all together.
Yes.
And so you question yourself and you're like, oh my goodness, am I good enough and stuff? But to me, it's teaching me to let go of all of this, because you can't, with your kids, you can't fake it. There's no way they're
Yes.
not gonna be like, oh, today mom is having a rough day. Right now we are in front of important people. Or mommy needs to do a good impression. No, 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 they don't care.
No.
So
Yeah.
you have to learn to let go and to let God really take the wheel. And there is so many things, as my mom mentioned in the video, like you have so much question about the future. Like for me, it has really helped me to let go of all those fears. You have no choice. So that's the part of motherhood that is the most difficult, but at the same time, the one that you have to learn. You have to learn to let go and really trust God and with this one. What about you, Renee?
Renee,
As I
Renee.
think for me, I thought that I was going to be way tougher than I am now.
I see.
I did, guys. Like I seriously did. I knew that I was gonna be the disciplinarian and da 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 da. And I'm the one like, but don't raise your
Yeah.
voice. Like don't.
Mm.
I mean, I do discipline him too, but it's kind of like because
Mhm.
it's kind of like you see yourself walking on little tiny legs,
Yep, your
and it's like,
heart.
oh,
Your
don't
heart.
hurt me. But I will say I did also think that maybe it was going to be hard in some ways, like I was going to be terrified. And there have been days when I've been terrified. But for the most part, it's just amazing how I think as a mom, even when you don't really know what you're doing, there's a part of you that still organically knows your child.
Yes.
You know what they need, you know what they want, even when they have no words except somehow you get it. So that has been like, that's been so cool. I agree with Marilyn too, where, I just expected, and I don't know, I expected that because he has my personality. And well, he'll hear what my mom says, but you heard what she said. Like I'm very energetic. I'm caused my mom, a lot of elevated heart palpitation moments. Wasn't like a bad kid. I was just busy, right? And so he is me. And ugh, sometimes it's scary. I didn't know that I was going to be this nervous. I don't want to say anxious because anxiety is like a different thing and it's a real thing. But having like anxious, like, and having to control myself because I don't want to project that onto him to where he becomes this anxious little boy because, mommy's always trying to, because he does things like he climbs up and he wants to stand and he wants to stand on top of things that he shouldn't stand on. And then he wants to celebrate that he's there, so he starts to dance, but he's not. So it's been quite the journey. It mirrors some of what I thought it would be, but then it's so much more too.
Right,
Can I ask
right.
a question? What are the things you wish you've known before to have a child? I think you feel like people hide it from you. Like something that I didn't like is like before I got a child, nobody speak about some stuff, and then when I got the child, everybody, yeah, welcome to the club. Yeah, 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 it's a part of it. And I'm like, girl, I went to school, okay? I read books. None of y'all talk about it. Praise God for social media now. We are a little bit more transparent. But so tell me one of the few things. I have one, sorry.
Go right ahead.
Breastfeeding.
Mm,
Okay.
the myth.
All right. All right. I thought it was going to be like in the books,
Ah.
Mm, girl, my daughter, I tried.
Glorious.
I tried. I was about to give up. Honestly, I was about to give up. I think I cursed in all the language that I know. And I apologize, but man, it was too tough. It was too hard at the beginning. And people make it like no. And the lactation consultant, she's like, you got it, mommy. You got this. You got it. And I'm like, no, I do not. I
Got it.
terrible. Like, so what is yours?
Right.
So for me, I feel like, thank goodness, like I know some very graphic people. So they would tell me about being impacted, like you want to poop and it can't come out. They would tell me, I had one friend who recorded her boob leaking like a pipe, drip, 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 and sent it to me. Like I know graphic people. So I think I knew a little bit more
Good for you.
than some. But what I did not know is that, and this was my experience. Let's see if it happens. You see how that finger kind of jumped up just now?
Yes.
So no one told me that this happens, that my fine little body would all of a sudden like transform into this weird little person. Like, who is this? Who is this? Who is controlling my body? Because my little wrists hurt. My little finger had carpal tunnel and would just, I remember one morning, literally, I woke up and I stretched. I was excited to see another beautiful day. And all my other fingers were up except this one. I'm like, what's going on? I touched her like, babe. I had to like, it was, yeah.
Wow.
That's probably one of the things I didn't know. And I'm with you. So honestly, thank goodness Cairo was born just ready to eat. So he latched on real quick. It was like
Wow.
he was good.
The worship.
However,
Mm-hmm.
they don't tell you that over time your poor boobs start to crust over and start to crack. And good nurse or bad nurser, it gets raw. Anyway, maybe you call
No, it's
me.
a fact.
Call
Please,
me.
let's talk about it. I wish someone would tell me. So we're gonna tell you guys. You're welcome.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. All of what you said, I had also very like difficulty to breastfeed, latch pain, everything, crying. I didn't know it. And I was like, Mom, why you didn't tell me about it? She was like, well, that's life. You have to learn. That's what would you just do? And yeah, carpal tunnel as well, sciatica nerve, like your whole body is traumatized.
For sure.
Never the same, and it's never the same after that. So I wish someone would have told me that. Also, I am you already know by now if you watch She Who Speaks, I'm big on my sleep,
I was
ladies.
about to talk about it. Mm-hmm.
So I've never been so sleep deprived, and I'm like, how do people live? Like, I don't understand how do you function with so little sleep every day for like a year or two, and then
Yes.
people have 20 kids, and you're like, how you never sleep? Like, how do you function? So that was one of the things also that really, like, after what I upload, when I see young parents now, I'm like, oh, bless their little heart.
Yes.
You understand how people can be irritated. Like, sometimes you understand that it's not about you. Like, people, when you have kids, it's a whole different life. Sometimes you can snap at someone that has nothing to do with the situation.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
It's
Yes.
just so hard. So it takes a toll on you, like physically, mentally, and yes, and you
Spiritually
also,
too.
oh, ouch,
Come on.
that's
You are somebody guardian. Like, this is it's a big
It
responsibility.
is, yeah.
And I feel like it makes you face your belief system, your foundation, because you're supposed to share that, and that's where you realize, do I really know what I know? Because you really know what you know when you're able to really communicate it, share it in a really simple way. That's what you learn, like at school, like when you're able to grab the information and share it back. That's how you know that you really master the concept. We're trying to teach 2 or 4 years old about Jesus and he's not. They ask deep questions. Okay,
Yeah.
so you have to be prepared, and I think that's the beauty, and I think that's the beauty of motherhood, and the challenge, and that's the journey. I mean, that's where I'm at with my daughter. Like, whew, God, help me. I don't want to mess up. I want to make sure I take the right thing.
Yeah.
But
Right, yeah,
something that I remember is God love her more than I do, so I'm sure he will do. He sees my heart. We will do it together.
My one line is, help me, Jesus.
Yes.
That's my line every day.
every day. Now you understand. You remember when you were younger, and every day you would used to hear your parents like randomly say,
Jesus.
please, oh Father God, please. Who you hear the sight and the say, I do the same thing now.
Yes.
I lay down on my couch and I'm like, Lord. Every time I bend down to pick up something, a toy, I'm like, Jesus.
Yes.
That's not right.
Every time they go through something, or like when they are hurt, you're hurt. When they whatever happens, like it's a whole new experience. It's a whole new world out there. So yeah, I wish I knew, but it's also the beauty of being a parent, and also every kid is different. So sometimes also when you have one kid, you think that, okay, I got this for the next one, and then the next one is totally different, and you're like, okay, we can do this. We can do this.
You got nothing.
So yeah, I think it's God's way to really mirror how he feels about us. That's always what I have in mind. That's
I agree.
the way I feel about my kid is how God feels about me, times
Totally.
tens, 1,000. So it really forces me to always rely on God and to understand His love for me.
That's
Any
amazing.
encouragement for new parents or
Mhm.
people are
Yeah.
considering parenthood?
My thing would be, I remember when I was getting ready to embark on giving birth to my child, I was surrounded by so much love and so much support, and people would tell me how they did things and how their way was, and don't do this and make sure you do that.
Mm.
I think my one thing that I would tell them, anyone who's getting ready to be a parent, is give yourself permission to learn and grow on your own.
Yes.
Mhm.
don't don't be resistant to wise counsel, but also don't feel pressured to do it anybody else's way. It's a new experience, it's going to be scary, but you know what you need to do for your baby. It's deep within you, so just listen to that inner direction.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
I think you said it best, Renee.
perfect words. The
Yes, to
perfect
finish.
words.
So guys, tell us some of the tips that you found helpful when you started parenting, being a mom. What did you wish you knew that you didn't know? Did any of what we said resonate with you? Come on, girl, tell us.
Mm.
Please.
We want to know. Thank you so much for always spending your time with us. I look forward to reading the comments. I know that Loveman and Marilyn also enjoy reading your comments. So, for whether you gave birth to your child, whether you adopted your child, whether you're a foster mom, whether you're a godmom, maybe you're an auntie, or maybe you're just standing in the gap for someone who needs that parental figure.
Mhm.
Whether your child is an adult now or a little baby, whether you didn't get a chance to meet your baby, maybe your child is no longer here. Whatever your experience, we see you, we celebrate you. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.